Who's loving Nikki's new hairstyle? I am. It suits her so well. It's like she's got this glow about her. Now, let's talk about the hottest characters on Y and R. First up, Billy Abbott, and then, of course, Nick Newman. But let's not forget Jack. I've adored him since his All My Children days in the 80s as Cliff. Remember Cliff and Nina? Good times? I haven't watched Y and R in years, but jumping back in feels like coming home. Oh, and do you remember when Victor had amnesia, ended up with Hope, and they had Adam? Classic. But honestly, Adam doesn't have the charm Victor had back then, nor does Kyle, or Cole for that matter. As for Victoria, girl needs a new love interest, ASAP. And while we're at it, I'm here for Sally and Billy as a couple. They're fresh and fun, but let's not forget the legends, Neil Winters and Malcolm, Shimmer Moore, are forever missed. As for Chance, he could be okay. If only his character didn't seem like he's operating on half a brain. Now Nikki, she's gone from leading charities to running major corporations. Must be nice to be Mrs. Victor Newman. Meanwhile, poor Billy can't keep a job at any family business. Someone get that man a side hustle so he can stop whining all the time. Speaking of side hustles, hey Claire, run before you end up stuck in this soap vortex like the rest of them. And Adam, oh Adam, he wants Sally, he wants Chelsea, he wants. What, all the women at once? The man sees Sally with Billy and suddenly decides she's his again. Pick a lane, dude, cake or no cake, you can't have it both ways. On to Nick. Why are the writers making him so clueless lately? Between Sharon, Phyllis, and now Heather, he's out here just fumbling through relationships like a rookie. Oh, and Phyllis? She's been acting weird. What's up with her voice lately? Sharon, on the other hand, is looking more and more like she's plotting something wicked. And Michael defending Sharon, despite being besties with Phyllis. Drama. What's the consensus on that one, folks? Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. I'm no Billy fan, most days, and Phyllis, she's hit or miss for me. But one thing's for sure, I am living for them teaming up to take Victor down. Seriously, it's about time someone clipped his wings. The man has been untouchable for way too long. And speaking of Nikki, remind me, what prestigious college did she attend? Oh, that's right, the School of Victor Newman. Imagine this. She couldn't even hold her coffee cup a few seasons ago thanks to her MS, and now she's running a multi-billion-dollar company. If only real life worked like that, we'd all be CEOs by now. Also, let's talk about Glissade. Victor sold off all the divisions. What's left? A logo and an office chair. It's basically an empty shell. Meanwhile, everyone keeps acting like Sharon is some angelic figure. Get real. And Michael defending her? Don't get me started. Just lock her up already and be done with it. And then there's Billy. He tells Phyllis, when you get out of the hospital, we'll team up to take down Victor. Bold words, Billy. Meanwhile, in today's episode, he's packing up his office at Chancellor. Jill's over here saying, I had to do what I did to save the company. And what does Billy do? Hangs up on her. Classic Billy. Meanwhile, Nikki starts her shiny new job at Chancellor, with Claire tagging along as her sidekick. She walks into the office all bright-eyed, just as Billy is packing up his sad little box of belongings. Awkward. Oh, and Sharon. Sweet Sharon. Does she not realize it's not normal to see and hear dead people? Honey, that's not a gift. That's a whole diagnosis. Am I the only one who wants to see Victor finally face some real consequences for all the awful things he's done? Not just to Jack Abbott, though that rivalry has been dragging on for decades, but to everyone who gets on his bad side. It's so repetitive. Watching Victor escape every consequence since 1987 is exhausting. The man has skated by with minor inconveniences while leaving a trail of destruction. Just once, I want to see Karma deliver the smackdown he deserves. Anyone else with me? Now this could get interesting. Billy spilled the tea to Phyllis about Victor's latest shady move. If these two actually team up, maybe, just maybe, they could take the almighty mustache down a peg or two. Victor's hurt too many people for too long, and it's time he finally pays for it. Who's with me on this? Speaking of drama, can we talk about Adam's little meltdown when he saw Sally and Billy together? That was unexpected, but also weirdly entertaining. And what's the deal with him and Chelsea lately? Is there something brewing there, or is it just Adam being, well, Adam? Meanwhile, can someone please catch Sharon mid-conversation with herself? She's doing it everywhere, at the coffee shop, at home with Faith around, and nobody bats an eye. Are they all just pretending not to notice? Come on, people. And oh, Phyllis, it's no mystery where Summer gets her dramatic flair, like mother, like daughter. As for Michael, he's just doing his job defending Sharon. It's not that deep. But leave it to Phyllis to blow this out of proportion. Typical. Nikki acting like she's some corporate mastermind. Please. Victor bought her that company, and now Victoria's daughter is involved too. What exactly does she know about running a business, besides having the Newman name? And Nikki's over here saying she's stronger than ever. Sure, let's see how strong she feels once they find out Jordan escaped. Buckle up, Nikki. On to Billy. Can everyone, besides Sally, who's the only one treating him decently, stop dumping on him already? I was so glad he stood up to Jill. He deserves a win. Also, Adam's little outburst when he saw Sally with Billy? Wow, didn't see that coming. But really, what's going on with Adam and Chelsea? Is there a spark or just lingering chaos? Phyllis was on fire today, back to her sassy, no-nonsense self. That attitude reminded me of a similar storyline with Grace Bennett from another soap. I mean, who else could bring so much drama while comatose? Classic Phyllis. Speaking of drama, did anyone bother checking Sharon's car for damage? If she did hit Phyllis, wouldn't there be some obvious evidence? This oversight is seriously bugging me. And Michael? Don't even get me started. He was so supportive of Daniel at Heather's funeral, but now he's defending Sharon, the supposed killer. Disappointing doesn't even cover it. Honestly, if Sharon's meds aren't working, maybe jail is where she belongs, for everyone's safety. Let's not forget her history. This is getting out of hand. As for Phyllis, it's hard to feel bad for her when her behavior is a direct result of her own actions. She's got a solid track record of backstabbing, dishonesty, and outright deceit. Maybe this latest mess will finally make her rethink her choices, but let's be real, probably not. And what's the take on Jack and Diane lying to their son? Was it wrong or completely justified to protect him from Victor's schemes? Personally, I get why they did it, but that kind of dishonesty always comes back to bite. Heather's not dead. I've been saying this all along. I don't believe Heather is really dead. Something just doesn't feel right. If Jordan managed to escape jail by using a double, what's stopping someone from pulling the same trick with Heather? Could the body Daniel saw in the morgue have been a double planted by Ian or someone else, while they're keeping Heather hostage somewhere? It would be such an epic twist, and honestly, I just really don't want her to be dead. Update. When I say Daniel saw a double in the morgue, I mean it. What if Ian Ward orchestrated the whole thing? He's a cult leader, so he's no stranger to manipulation. He could have staged the entire situation, and if anyone's capable of brainwashing Sharon into imagining things, like tossing Heather's body, it's him. I'm telling you, this would be such a satisfying storyline. Of course, there's the actress's contract ending, and she did say her character was dead. But still, soap operas have resurrected characters before, so why not Heather? I hate when they kill off good characters for no reason. Who's with me on this? But then there's the question of motivation. Jordan killing Heather and framing Sharon, after Sharon supposedly framed Daniel, doesn't really add up when you think about her supposed goal of destroying the Newmans. Sharon is only loosely connected to the Newmans. Why target her and why harm Phyllis? That feels more like someone targeting Phyllis directly, perhaps for personal revenge. This whole mystery is layered, and I'm dying to see how it unfolds. Let me know, what's your theory? Could Heather's death be the biggest fake out yet? Victor, oh, where do I even start? He needs to back off, leave Billy alone, leave Jack and Diane alone, and just let people live their lives. The arrogance, the smugness, it's too much. Can someone please take him down a few pegs already? The writers have pushed Victor so far into vindictive tyrant territory that he's barely watchable. He's not just controlling, he's downright abusive. It's exhausting. Here's the kicker. Victor has fired or forced out so many top executives in Genoa City that they could probably form their own anti-Victor alliance. Imagine it, a crew of GC's finest unemployed business minds teaming up to finally topple the Newman Empire. Now that would be a storyline worth watching. And let's talk about how irrational he's being. Nikki has told him repeatedly to let go of his anger. She said Jack saved her life, but does Victor listen to her? Of course not. He's too blinded by his own misplaced rage, convinced that Nikki's the eternal victim, even when she's saying otherwise. It's infuriating. Fingers crossed that Billy and Sally can make a move against Victor. And while we're at it, can everyone stop dumping on Sharon? She's been framed, and while, yes, I hate that she tried to frame Daniel, she clearly didn't do half the things she's being accused of. Let's redirect all that energy toward Victor, who's actively ruining lives and careers just because he's in a bad mood. Jack, for one, did not try to harm Nikki. He loved her enough to do what ultimately helped her. And Billy and Lily, they didn't deserve the mess Victor threw at them either. But no, Nikki gets handed the reins to Chancellor Enterprises instead of the usual jewels, furs, or yet another mansion. Because apparently, that's the Newman way. Even Kyle and Audra, two people I can't stand, have been casualties of Victor's wrath. And let's not forget Victoria and her children. No one is safe from his ego. At this point, we need someone to give Victor a dose of reality. Or better yet, a taste of his own medicine. So many people lining up to defend Sharon. Let's take a moment to remember her greatest hits, shall we? Over the years, Sharon has lied to and hurt countless people, abandoned her kids more than once, faked her own death, and yes, even killed before. Yet somehow, half the town is ready to give her a free pass for allegedly killing an innocent woman. Compare that to how Phyllis was treated. Nobody wanted to let her off the hook, even though killing Stark was clearly self-defense. The double standard is glaring. Sharon and Phyllis are cut from the same cloth. They've both committed crimes and made awful choices. But the town worships Sharon, while Phyllis is lucky if she gets a crumb of sympathy. Why does Sharon always get the pass? Is it her looks? Her personality? Or is it just that elusive something that some characters have? For the record, I like Phyllis. She's quirky, funny, and way more interesting overall. And let's be real, Sharon didn't kill Heather. That was clearly Ian or Jordan's doing. But let's not act like Sharon's hands are squeaky clean. She's poisoned Daniel, dumped a corpse, planted evidence, and broken into Phyllis's hotel room. Every one of those actions was a choice, and a criminal one at that. To those insisting Sharon is innocent this time, I get it, you love her, fine. But spare me the lecture about how Phyllis is supposed to be some saintly Mother Teresa. We all know that's not the case. That said, I'm not excusing Sharon's history. But if you've been paying attention, it's obvious Ian and Jordan are pulling the strings here. Sharon isn't entirely in control of what's happening now. So when 2029 rolls around, and it's finally revealed that Sharon had nothing to do with this mess, let's not act surprised. Until then, enjoy the chaos. Because no matter who's guilty, we all know Genoa City won't be letting this drama die down anytime soon. Ian and Jordan, where are they? Seriously, where are Ian and Jordan? Are the writers just going to drop them like they do half the characters they introduce? By now, shouldn't they be making some kind of dramatic move? It's ridiculous. What's the point of bringing them into the story if they're just going to waste their talent? Either use them or let us move on already. This storyline needs to wrap up soon. How long do they expect us to hang on for plots that go absolutely nowhere? On the bright side, maybe Nick is finally onto something, pun fully intended. Faith told him they're looking for Sharon's phone, and she said she didn't have it, yada yada yada. Let's hope this actually leads somewhere, because at this point, the crumbs we're being fed are starting to feel like filler. And let's talk about Ian and Jordan's genius criminal strategy. The whole idea of framing someone else for revenge is that you stay in the shadows, unconnected to the crime. So what do? Stay in a motel together in Genoa City, the very town they're terrorizing. Subtle, guys, real subtle. Now they're obviously tied to each other and the crimes they're committing. It's almost laughable. At this rate, they might as well hang a neon sign outside their motel door that says, "We did it." Billy and Sally. Is Adam always going to be in the middle? Is this relationship between Billy and Sally, if we can even call it that, going to be entirely about Adam? Because it's starting to feel like déjà vu. It's Nick and Sally all over again, just with a different Newman brother lurking in the background. Adam's been stuck in the same storyline rut for the past 2 to 3 years, and it's all to prop up Sally and her string of boring relationships. Remember when Sally and Adam first hooked up? Their chemistry was electric. The writers completely blew it, ruining the only genuinely exciting couple they had. And let's be real, based on Sally's actions today, it's obvious she's not that into Billy. She flat out admitted their fling was basically revenge sex. Ouch. Meanwhile, she's over here giving major longing vibes for Adam. It's clear where her heart really is. If the writers keep forcing these lukewarm pairings while ignoring the fiery chemistry between Adam and Sally, it's going to be a tough sell for fans. Let's hope they figure it out before it's too late. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.